welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Village of Tinley Parks Plan Commission. Can we all rise, please, for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First thing on the agenda, I have public notice sent and received for the hearing we're about to have tonight. So we can go ahead and start. Can we start with a roll call, Michael?
Sure. Commissioner Gaskell,
Present.
Commissioner Gatto, Commissioner Hamilton,
Here.
Commissioner Manny,
Present.
Commissioner Merrick,
Here.
Commissioner Montalvo,
Here.
Commissioner Martinez, Chairman Gray, Acting Chair Sepisi.
Here.
Okay.
Okay, seems like we have a quorum. We're all set to go. We'll start with communications. Are there staff communications at all for?
No communications.
Nothing at all. Okay, then let's go to approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve, and
Second. Okay.
second? Okay, so the motion, hold on a second here, gotta get these right. Motion by trustee Hamilton, second by trustee Montalvo. May I have a roll call, not a roll call. All those in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Negative. Okay, moving right along. Yes,
We actually are approving minutes for 2 meetings tonight.
I didn't see that.
Yes, so it was for the 12th and for the 19th of June. So I guess do it again for the 19th.
Okay, let's do another motion for the approval of amendments from the 19th.
So.
Okay. Trustee Montalvo, or
Second.
trustee, Commissioner Montalvo has, says it requested, and trustee Commissioner Gaskell has seconded. All those in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, that takes care of all that business? We're good then. All right, we seem to have one public hearing tonight, one item on the agenda. This is a public hearing for the True by Hilton Hotels. It just says, consider recommending that the village board grant Ramsey Escobar, is that correct? Escobar, of RE Development Solutions on behalf of Louisville Hotel Partners LLC, a variation from the zoning ordinance to reduce the amount of required off-street parking for a new True by Hilton Hotel at 18303 LaGrange Road on the B3 General Business and Commercial Zoning District. Site plan also be considered. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Motion.
Motion by
Seconded.
Commissioner Gaskell, seconded by Commissioner Hamilton.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, that's what they all say. I get called late all the time. So staff, we're gonna start with your report,
We gotta
if you would, please.
Have that motion.
Oh, we didn't, oh. All in favor of opening the hearing, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No opposed. Okay, let's go ahead with this then.
Okay. So just before I jump in, you all voted on this last time. You recommended approval of 11 variations, including a parking variation, with the stipulation that spaces off-site be identified and entered into some sort of agreement with a neighbor to provide overflow parking. The petitioner was not able to do that with any neighbors, so they've revised their site plan to add 13 parking stalls in the rear of the property along the west where the retention pond was, and they are now moving a majority of the detention underground into stormwater vaults. So the site plan has changed. We're not revisiting the other variation requests. They've already been approved, but because they changed the site plan, we have to do site plan approval, and because they have changed the request for the parking variation, we're here to discuss that tonight. So I'll jump in. This is the proposed True by Hilton Hotel, 18303 LaGrange. It's immediately south of Gas and Wash. It's in the B3 zoning district in the urban design overlay. It's a 122-room hotel with amenities. As I mentioned at the beginning, we previously approved a parking variation to allow 91 total parking stalls on site, which would be a ratio of 0.68 stalls per hotel room. The zoning ordinance stipulates one space, yes, per hotel room, plus a parking space for each employee at the busiest shift. So they said that they would have 8 employees. That brings the total requirement for the site to 130. They've come back with a revised site plan and a revised request to provide 101 stalls on site, which brings up the stall per room ratio to 0.83. And then we have to do the site plan approval again. So here's how the site plan has changed. As I mentioned, the detention area in the rear along the west property line has shrunk, and they're proposing moving a lot of that storage underground. And they've added 13 parking stalls in that location in the rear. In the immediately behind the building on the west is a striped loading zone that was previously located in the drive aisle, and they've located it next to the curb. So there's originally there was 4 parallel stalls there. Now there's 2 and the loading zone. And then they've additionally relocated one of the stalls that was closest to the entrance at the northeast corner. During the Plan Commission, it was discussed that there was some concern of drivers backing up and motorists entering. So they've removed one stall from that location to increase the distance. Otherwise, the site plan is the same. Lighting is the same. The building design's the same. Landscaping's the same. Nothing is really impacted besides the actual site plan and the civil engineering, of course.
Okay, that's everything for you guys?
Oh, one more thing to note. The petitioner submitted an exhibit that identified that there's at least 14 on-street parking spaces immediately in front of the building on White Eagle Drive. I mentioned in the last meeting that White Eagle Drive is about 40 feet wide, 40 feet of pavement curb to curb. So there's enough room on both sides of the street for on-street parking and 2-way travel lanes. I have the standards.
All right, well, let's move on. Would anybody here representing this entity want to speak?
I do have the petitioners here. Jerry White's representing the ownership group. If you'd like to come
Sir,
up,
did
you
wanna
can.
come
You
up
don't.
and speak? If you'll just sign in for us here and I'll swear you in and we can hear what you have. Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help
Yes,
you?
yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please go on.
I just would like to reiterate what Michael said. We did this change to meet the requirements that was asked for us to look at and see if we could do. And especially, I think it was Amanda was the one who was concerned about the car at the entrance there. And so we felt that that was a valid concern, and so we did move that out of the picture. We feel that we have met everything that you asked for us to do at the last meeting, that where you gave us the approval for the 91 or whatever it was, plus finding 10 to 13 off-site.
Yes, it was not able to get any additional parking away from Gas and Wash. They felt that they needed every slot they had. And the other option that was suggested to us by you people was the parking for the Crab Restaurant. However, that they've already got cross access with the hotel there, so that eliminated that. So that was the reason we went to the underground. It was not our preference because of the extended cost that will be involved in that, but we're trying to be good stewards here and meet your requests.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, very much appreciated, yes.
What, sir?
Anything else you have for us, sir?
Do what?
Is there anything else you have for us?
No.
How about if we let the commissioners ask any questions they might have? Trustee Hamilton, would you like to begin?
Yes, where is the underground basin in the picture? I don't see it.
It's not indicated on this drawing. I believe the plan is to put it in the north end of the parking lot in the center.
Yes.
So it'll be in the middle of the parking lot. And so where the detention basin is right now, the detention basin, that's been made smaller? And
Yes.
that volume has been put in the underground underneath the parking lot. So that allowed you to add a few extra spaces there. I see, okay.
Okay, we're good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trustee Merrick?
Yeah, I guess the only question I have, it's not even a concern, but since there's no parking overnight, and we're pitching that as a potential possibility, I think that's something the village should take into account, right? About potentially changing that for that space, or, I don't know, giving people and hotel employees passes or whatever that might be. But I have no concerns at this stage.
Okay. Trustee Manning?
No comments.
No comments, okay. Trustee Montalvo? You good? Okay. Trustee Gaskell?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Gaskell? Somebody get a taser for him. Honestly.
We know what
You're
you
good with it? Okay. There was no problem with MSD doing that underground storage or anything?
BMW does not have an issue. We've done underground before, all over the area of Cook County.
I need to point out that I drive by a lot of your hotels because I'm an Uber, and I drive in and out of those lots a lot. I take a lot of people to your structures, and in seeing the other ones, I haven't seen a lot of parking in any of your structures, and yet it seems to be adequate. When I pull in, I never have any problems, so I think I understand all this. Any other questions from anyone in the audience or anybody else? Okay, well then I think we can accept a motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gaskell, second,
A second.
okay, second by Trustee Hamilton, or Commissioner Hamilton. All those in favor of closing the public hearing signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're gonna move along to the standards of variations.
Okay, so overview is just that the site is constrained and they did their best to accommodate as much parking as they could. And it will not negatively impact the character of the neighborhood. Smaller parking lots could arguably improve the character, so. That's the variation standards. And then I have the architecture and site plan standards and the motions.
Okay, so those were all pretty much the same as they were, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then, if that, having said that, the chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion,
Trustee Montalvo, go right ahead.
make a motion to recommend that the village board grant the petitioner a variance from the zoning ordinance section 8A10 to reduce the number of required on-site parking spaces from 130 to 101, to develop a hotel in accordance with the plan submitted and adopt the findings of fact as proposed in the July 3rd, 2025 staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gaskell. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Gaskell,
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Yes.
Commissioner Manny,
Yes.
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Montalvo,
Yes.
Acting Chair Sepisi.
Yes. So that passed, that motion is passed unanimously. And we'll move on to motion number 2. May I have that motion, Brad? Anybody?
I'll make a motion to grant the petitioner site plan approval for the development of a hotel at 18303 LaGrange Road in accordance with the plans submitted and adopt the findings of fact as proposed in the July 3, 2025 staff report, subject to the following conditions. The proposed retaining wall must be designed by a structural engineer. The use of landscape pavers is prohibited for wall construction. 2, approval is subject to final engineering review and approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Hamilton, for the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Merrick. Is there a time for roll call?
Commissioner Gasco,
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Yes.
Commissioner Manny,
Yes.
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Montalvo,
Yes.
Acting Chair Sepisi.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so these having been both unanimously approved, your item will come up to the village board meeting on Tuesday, July the 15th, and you can get with the planning commission folks, and they can give you any details about what you might need to do or want to do, okay?
That'll do, sir.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along to public comment. Having had no public comment, let's move on to
Oh,
go to the
no,
other.
no, there's,
We got public
have a
comment.
public.
Carlos.
Never have anybody.
Go ahead, Carlos, give it to us.
We've had public comment before.
First meeting, and I don't want to say anything, but will there be any electric charging stations in that parking structure?
The petitioner is proposing 2 for the hotel customers.
Okay.
Yes, so there'll be 2 on site, located in regular parking stalls that will not have signs that say they're reserved for only EV charging.
So it will not have.
It will not have the signs, so they would be a regular parking space. A lot of the time, people don't park in them when there's a charger present, but they're not for exclusive use of the chargers.
Exactly.
because that would reduce your number of available
Of course,
spots
yes,
there,
it would.
Right.
which they're already struggling with.
Yes.
Right.
I just was curious about the charging, and I don't have an electric.
I was gonna ask.
I just was curious.
Well,
Yeah,
what are you gonna
I think
do?
the state requires that all new commercial developments have some electric charging infrastructure.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's it for me.
Okay, Carlos, good. Anything else? Any other, no? How
I got
about
a-
for good of the order?
I got a structural question. Do we
Okay.
need to swear him in? Or not for public comment? No? Just in
No,
case, because we
I don't
don't
think
have
we
the
did for
name and
public.
that won't go in
Because
the
it's
minutes.
not
'Cause the
testimony
hearing is
as part of
closed?
a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the hearing's over,
Yeah,
actually.
got it.
Mhm.
I was just thinking about for the historical record,
Yeah.
as a historian. Some anonymous person asked a question.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It was
Member from
that
the
guy.
general public.
No,
I'm a resident, so you can find me.
it's all good.
Good of the order. There's gotta be something good there.
Well, we don't have too much that's new to you. One item that will be coming up shortly will be to the gas and wash on 183rd and LaGrange for, Michael, if you want to
Yeah, so
quick preview?
when they got their special use approval and variations back in late 2023, one of the conditions on the special use and on the site plan was that any retaining walls had to be constructed of masonry. And miscommunication allegedly occurred between the people handling the entitlement piece of the project and people handling construction. And the walls ended up just getting built with cast concrete. So that's why you see the large concrete gray retaining wall on the LaGrange side. They are requesting that we remove that condition so that they can get their final certificate of occupancy. Right now, they're operating on a temporary certificate of occupancy. And so they're proposing to use a wall treatment that will help smooth out some of the texture differences on the wall from the cast marks. And they're also proposing some additional landscaping in front of it to kind of soften how it looks. So they have to come in to get that condition removed so that they can get their certificate of occupancy.
So we've got that for next July meeting,
17th.
the 17th, yes.
Can I ask a question here? I thought in the standards, the last item was that it had to be, or it could not be, the retaining wall could not be made out of pavers.
For landscape pavers. So we wanted Gas and Wash to do either what they did and put a brick veneer over it to give it some sort of finish treatment, or they could have constructed it out of solid masonry. They could have used CMU or something like that to construct the wall. The reason we condition no landscape pavers specifically is because landscape pavers are just like you would have at your home. The stones that you stack on top of each other
You could
for your
drive
little
right through
garden
those.
bed. So and if you're familiar with the Dunkin' Donuts on 179th and LaGrange, they have been here forever. That retaining wall went in like the 80s, but they use landscape pavers and it caved in. So the pond needed to be completely rebuilt because it wasn't structurally sound anymore and it wasn't holding the volume that it was supposed to hold. The same issue happened behind the Tinley Court Senior Living over on Brementown here. They used landscape pavers for the retaining wall behind the building, between the building and the park right behind it, and that started to fail as well. So when it's landscape pavers, just stone stacked on top of stone, it doesn't hold up as well. So that's why they were conditioned no pavers.
See.
Yeah.
A couple other things. So streetscape plan for the downtown core. I know that that's an item that we originally had scheduled and is still currently continued to the July 17th. We're in the process of seeing if it could still make that meeting or else we may need a further continuation. But that is definitely in the works with our consultant team at Lakota. And then as far as the comp plan, the draft is coming any day. So we are on track with that. Upon getting the draft, we are looking to have a community open house. So staff will have to still work with on the timing of that. And then as far as coming back for the public hearing and village board, we're looking hopefully at sometime in September. So,
And how many square opens the 19th, huh?
what's it?
How many square opens the 19th officially?
That was my last thing, July 18th.
18th, okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very,
I think there's an event at 7 o'clock.
something like that, yeah. 'Cause
That's all I
this is a
have.
Closing parking lots and that. Any more news on Pete's?
Oh, I don't know the latest and greatest. Do you know anything further
Just
on
that,
that? We were supposed to have final inspections soon.
yeah, I
but
know
There's been a delay.
last meeting, Mike said that they would probably be open. So,
Probably be open when?
within the month. So at this point, it should now be 2 to 3 weeks. Haven't heard otherwise on an opening date, so that's the target, I believe. But like Lori said, the final inspections still have to happen before they can get their.
Exciting.
Yeah,
It's kind of exciting.
very exciting.
Oh, so they're not open now?
No.
Just
No.
the warehouse.
Right.
Yeah, the warehouse is really busy. It's really operating.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, because I know a friend had come in and said they walked through it. I thought. So the warehouse is open,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
but the
Yep.
store part
The
is not.
store has not.
Correct.
Yeah, there's
Interesting.
still-
There's one in Orland that's open.
Yeah, Orland's
Maybe
open.
that's what they're talking
Yeah.
about.
But this is actually supposed to be a bigger store, I think. Tinley's
Oh, yeah.
supposed to be a bigger
Yeah.
store.
Yeah, the Orland one was a
Domination.
Yeah, previous
Like
store,
retrofit?
and then this is.
Any news on Jack in the Box?
No update on that. Last time Mike said they would probably also be a month, so I guess we'll stick to that timeline.
Well, I hope they get moving.
We want that junk food. Well, and someday we're gonna have roads finished in town too, I understand. I don't know when, but, okay, any other comments or anything else, or can we take a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gaskell to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Merrick to, Mr. Hamilton to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, meeting signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
Good, let me out of here. All opposed? All right,
So we're good.
we're good.
All right.
All right.
Good to see everyone.
Yeah, take care.